Dear friends, I take advantage of feeling much better, so I will give another talk. Though there may be a rupture because between 27 and 7, 10 days, 27 June and 7 of July, I will be away for vacation, and I have no idea if I will be able to have a proper connection to post these talks via internet. Anyway, it will be talk number 24 of wisdom training. I decided to come back to certain topics which already were mentioned, but very briefly and casually, so to speak. And since they are extremely important, I see it more and more, it will be talk of them how to deal with our emotions. Well, I don't think it needs, I will just brief reminder. Emotions are thoughts which have extremely, depends on the intensity, high level of energy behind them, and they manifest in various ways, from low-level irritation to explosive things which sometimes goes into physical actions. So that's as much as I can say about the background. And to deal with them, again, I repeat, the same as with everything, with many other aspects. Once you realize that you are in grasp of emotion, you are a slave of emotion, just realize and come back to resting in wisdom, in awareness, whatever you like to call it, just to rest. And then for a moment you will see how absurd was this whole state, and usually, very frequently, the same emotion arises, and you have to do the same thing and again and again and again. It actually is easy to say, but to do it is not easy at all. I see it all over me and on myself. So I wanted, what will help, in my opinion, to do it is to intellectually understand mechanism of certain, the most, I will not go through all, but the most frequent emotions. One of the most frequent right now is various form of anger. Anger. People are angry about this and that and this. Anger becomes predominant, much more than it always was very dominant, but now, thanks to blessing of so-called social network like Facebook, Twitter, and so on, it becomes really amplified. Excellent. They are very, very, very good for this kind of for anger. Anger, we could call it irritation, we could call it also dislike, we can call it has many manifestations and many names. And it's important to know where it comes from. It invariably comes from the fact that somebody or group of people or even animals or even inanimate objects behave in the way we are in the contrary to our concepts as they should behave. And I mention it usually addressed to people or very often group of people, but also you could be angry at animal. We can even be angry at plant if you really have that it doesn't grow or the weeds that they do grow, something absurd like that. Nevertheless, it's around. We have obviously strong concepts as things should be. How people should, or let's focus on people because it's usually is the case, how people should think, talk, behave. We are angry at so many things that doesn't make sense to list them, but look at yourself and make a 10-point list things which makes you angry. Very often you say, well, it's completely justified. This person or that person behaved cruelly, is an idiot, is cause harm to others, which is absolutely often true. Huh? But being angry doesn't change a thing. This object of anger doesn't know that we are angry, and even you doesn't care, maybe even will like it, because from some perverted thing. We don't do anything except of harm ourselves and often our environment, because our anger is like a kind of smear. It spreads all over. And nothing happens except that the world becomes slightly more insane. It is because our concept, as it should be, different from the concepts how it is. Maybe our concepts are justified, maybe they are not justified. It doesn't matter in the least. If we indeed feel something reasonable and we would like to make situation different, everything but anger will help. Anger does nothing. It only hurts us. So that's one very predominant and frequently encountered emotions, anger. The other emotion, which is, I'm talking about things which are very, very frequently encountered these days, is desire to possess something. The something could be an abstract thing or concrete thing. We want to make more money to supposedly improve our life. Well, in occasion it makes some sense. In most occasion it doesn't make slightest sense. It only makes us tired, tense and irritated. Nothing. Well, here, yes, we can gain some more money. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the cost of gaining this money, we are wasting our life, working very hard, putting lots of emotions and in the process harming others completely unnecessarily. That's the possessiveness. And what do we possess? The sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. Generally material things. But we want to accomplish this and that because we read on internet that that's a great idea, and we take some ridiculous courses, spend money, time, to find out that it was total waste of time, and we go and do another one. We want to possess this quality, maybe sometimes piece of paper, sometimes not. That's another example of frequent. Of course, you are unquestionably intelligent people, so you could augment this list. But I think it is enough to understand the roots intellectually of our anger, the concepts which are behind it. It helps to notice it and notice, to realize it. And once we realize we are angry, it is really realize fully, not only intellectually, but feel this virtually physical effect of anger. And what it does, it's much easier to just poof, rest. So before I end, let's have a little rest. So let's rest. If you are able, in the fits of your anger or desire to possess, I just picked those two, suddenly rest, even for a few seconds, you will see this shocking difference, how it affects you. So, please try it. Please, if you want to, try it. Guarantee you that you will feel better. Okay? So, Until next time, goodbye.